Hi there. Thanks for attending this webinar. My name is Randy McDonald. Today's webinar topic is beating anti-spam technology. So today's topics we're going to get into are first defining what email deliverability is, second what anti-spam technology is both in business and consumer environments, what it is and how it works, and finally we're going to talk about how to beat anti-spam technology and get your emails into inboxes in both business and consumer email environments. So first of all, we're going to define email deliverability. Our definition is it's a sent email's ability to get through email filtering and blocking technology and any temporary obstacles and reach an intended recipient's email inbox. So the definition is slightly different for business and consumer environments. A business environment, email deliverability is getting past a corporate mail server anti-spam technology and reaching a business email address. With consumer email accounts and email environments, it's bypassing anti-spam technology that's employed both by the email provider and in some cases also by or alternately by the end user. In other words, the person that has the individual PC and software that they install on their computer itself. So with business email accounts, this is done typically at the server. Almost 99% of the time is done at the mail server level. In other words, the computer that's responsible for processing all mail that comes in to the company, and also for sending all mail that goes out from the company. So there's four elements to what can be on a mail server that is anti-spam related. First, you have anti-spam software, which is the same idea as what's at the desktop level. We're talking also blacklists and people's servers' subscription to a blacklist, such as Spamhaus or Sorbs. There's also spam firewalls that are used, for example, Barracuda, and there's also domain verification is used by some servers using things such as SPF records, domain keys, or DKIM. All of these areas we're going to look at in detail as we go along. For consumer email accounts, we're talking about free web. First, we're talking about when we're talking about free web-based email account providers, such as Hotmail, Yahoo, Gmail. They typically have their own proprietary spam filtering technology that they don't reveal publicly, but as we'll see different elements that it could be used by them as we go along. Also, email accounts that are provided by your internet service provider for personal or business usage. Usually this is what goes on as at the desktop level in terms of anti-spam programs that you install on your own PC to screen your emails coming in. For instance, Norton Anti-Spam is a popular one. There's also whitelisting software that's used, for instance, Spam Arrest. Also, something that's increasingly being used these days, especially by large broadband internet providers, are what is known as email reputation services. Two popular ones are what are known as SenderScore and CloudMark. We'll get into detail about what these are later. And also whitelists, in some cases, are offered by email providers where you can apply to their whitelist and all of your emails automatically get into the inbox with assuming that you have good, consistent behavior regarding their users. So with business email accounts, the anti-spam software, as mentioned, it's very similar or even identical to the software that's used at the desktop level. Literally hundreds of different software titles can exist. Not all so each title uses its own unique criteria for assessing emails, and what that criteria is can be any of the following elements of an email, which is virtually really anything to do with an email. They look at whether the email is using what's known as MIME, or it stands for multi-purpose internet mail extensions. That means that the email is sent in both HTML and text formats. The reason for this is that it allows, when an email is sent with MIME format, it allows the recipient to view the email in the format that they want to. Most people receive emails in HTML and want to view them that way. Some people, for whatever reason, just want to see it in text. They don't want to see graphics. So this software will look for proper MIME formatting in the email's header and to see it's there. Spammers are often not sending it in MIME formats because sending in both HTML and text formats is slower, and spammers are all about volume. So they don't want to have anything slow their emails down, so they won't send it in MIME format. So this is one of the reasons why MIME usage is checked. It's also looking at the name of the email sender. Is it coming from John Smith? Is it coming from ABC Corporation? Is it coming from a department or a role or a person? It's looking at that. Also, the from email address. Is it coming? What's the domain name that's coming from? Is it abc.com? Is it abc.info? Generally speaking, .coms are seen as the most deliverable email addresses because they're really the most expensive. .info ones are more suspect because .info is a much cheaper domain name to buy. I think they're only about $2 a piece, whereas .coms are about $10 a piece. So whatever your type of domain you're using has a significant impact on your deliverability. What username or alias they're using for your email account. So is it john.smith@abc.com? Is it sales@abc.com? Is it info? What is the name used there? This software will also look to see if the domain the sender's domain can be verified to be real and not forged or spoofed. In other words, is the person who's sending from this domain actually sending from that domain and not just saying that they're sending from it. This is something that spammers typically do to avoid detection, is they fake what domain that they're sending from. This software also look at the subject line. They'll look at what words are used. Same thing with the email body, what words are used. Are there any graphics? How are the graphics incorporated into the email, or were they attached to the email when it was sent, or are they drawn from the web when the person opens the email? Are there any links in the email? If there's links, are they from one domain or multiple domains? In other words, if the email comes from sales@abc.com, is it just references to links from abc.com in the email, or are there also links from xyz.com in the email? Also, it's looking to see if there's any attachments with the email. Important factor.